talk about the manipulator. Okay.
Right.
So 30 years ago, 30 some odd years ago, or even a little bit further than that, when you were in the game, where were you at mentally that put you in a position to where you wanted to adopt, this mindset?
Well, what happened to me was, like I said, I felt abandoned by my mother. So my brother got incarcerated, my older brother, Colin. When he got incarcerated, my mother was there to visit him every day. She would bring him fruits and food, and we had to go there, and we had to sit in the visiting room, and she just kept doing this. And I felt like she wasn't paying me no attention. So I gained a disdain for my mother. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, she tripping.
Wow.
And then, when I was like maybe 3 years old, I was molested by a woman that my mama had babysitting me. It was a big old dark skinned sister, I never forget. So she molested me. That made me have a disdain for women, right? So I developed this I was like, it's like I went to the doctor and had a triple bypass. I had no sympathy in my heart. So I was going, everything I was doing with no passion. You know what I'm saying? I was the word they use, I guess you say hurt or mentally deranged. And, so when I looked at women, I didn't look at women the way the average man looked at women. So when I discovered a game called pimping, that was an easy game for me to get in because I had no sympathy, for nothing. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I care about nobody because I felt that nobody cared about me. And my mama never addressed that issue of me being molested until I was about 54 years old. I just told her.
Wow.
And what triggered me, right, is I was talking to one of my lady friends, and we were just having a conversation, and I remembered it vividly. And so I called my mama, and I said, "Mom, I know why I used to bump my head when I was little." I said, "That lady that used to have a babysitter, she used to always molest me. And that caused me to be in special ed. It caused me to be incarcerated. I got incarcerated over 10 years in prison because I didn't know what was going on mentally in my head. So when I came out and I got into the game, most people have no idea how to plan a date that builds connection. And I started being more sympathetic. And then, I had one son, I had two sons, and I really just adored my boys. You know what I mean? So all the hatred that I had in me, I got rid of it by loving on my children. My son, he would say, "Dad, I need some Robin jeans." I said, "How much is they? 500. Okay. Yeah, come and get me. I'll be doing some other stuff. All right, I'll be there. And so I developed love by having something to love. But before that, I had no love. That's why I said in my book, love is like a four-letter word. So F that. What I'm saying, I don't want to cuss on here, but that was saying. They said, "Why ain't no love in the game?" Because there's not no love in the game. And the women that I talked to, 90% of them went through the same thing. I didn't know what I was going through because I didn't know until I didn't. It didn't click in my head until I was 54. But they was being raped too.
Wow.
And
That's incredible that you say that, because a lot of times when you think about the manipulator, you only think about the victim and kind of what.
I think this is very, very unfortunate, to be honest with you. The fact that, the most vulnerable group of people amongst us, which are, small children get abused like this. And the fact that, they never say anything up until they reach such age. I mean, he's 54. So can you imagine living with something like this your whole lives, right? People who perpetuate these, crimes, they think that, you forget. They think that these small children forget what they're going through, but they can remember, but they're not saying anything, right? And I just think it's unfortunate because now it shows how these type of acts impact someone mentally, right? The fact that he lived his life and he became a pimp just due to the fact that he was being molested. He had been molested when he was a child, and now he had a disdain for women, right? And the other thing that this shows is the fact that I know it's popular, rightfully so, that we emphasize the abuse that, you know young girls go through. But this also shows what young boys goes through. And I think is even worse because as a boy, boys even from a young age you have pride. Right? So you know that if you say or if you reveal this type of information, how you're gonna be viewed and how your peers and whether you're gonna be teased or not. So I just think this is very, very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. It actually explains why, a lot of women, especially women who have gone through this, these events, they have a disdain for men. They don't like men. Some of them go through their lives without even dating or getting married or even having a child. This explains it, and I just think it's unfortunate. And I just wish people would, recognize that children are vulnerable. Like they are the weakest part of they are the weakest group of in our society. So I think, even parents should be more cautious when they find babysitters or nannies for their children. Like they need to vet these people. You can't just take someone you don't even know or someone who was recommended to you by someone else and you don't know them, you don't know their background, you don't know what they've done in the past, you don't know why they're in that position to babysit in the first place. Like you need to know a lot of information as a parent before you decide that this person is qualified to babysit your child. Because one wrong move, then your child can be impacted for the rest of their lives, right? So I just think people need to be more cautious with both girls and boys because this shows that even boys goes through this, and the most worrying thing is that a lot of times, like there are a lot of people who go through life without even revealing this kind of information. And the worst part, these people are never. If a child never says anything, you can only imagine that this person might not be only doing that to that child. Maybe another child he's doing it too because he's not getting caught. So I just think it's unfortunate, and I think these people need to be just thrown under the jail. Because I don't understand why as a grown woman or a grown man would you pray on it? What do you see in a child that would make you feel like you need to have that kind of view of them? There's nothing about a child that says, oh, there's someone that I can, be intimate with. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I can't even date someone who's 30 years younger than me. Can you imagine a baby, a small child? I mean, it's insane. Some people are just sick in their head. They're sick. That's the problem. But that's not an excuse there's no excuse for this for this behavior. There's absolutely no excuse. These are the people that deserve a death penalty. They do. So yeah. Thank you for viewing the video. Drop down your comments on the comment section and express your thoughts on what do you think about this and how people should handle this situations. And please like and subscribe the video. I really appreciate it, and it helps with the algorithm. Thank you.